Where is Jesus? Written by Seung-won Chi. Preface. Genesis chapter 1 is on the eschatological kingdom of God. About 2,600 years ago, the Israelites were taken captive to Babylon. Only weeds grew thick on the land where they lived, and darkness fell over the Sea of Galilee, where the fishermen's song echoed. The temple of God, who they believed would protect them, was destroyed. In the unfamiliar land, there was not even a square meter of land to stand on. They cried and went out to sow seeds, but the harvest was not theirs. God only looks down from heaven and does not extend his almighty hand. How could they sing God's song by the rivers of Babylon? However, a flash of light shone on those in despair. Light came with the word. Those who had buried themselves in the dirt and seemed dead raised their heads. The breath of God flowed into their entire bodies. As they lifted their body halfway out of the dirt, God revealed a magnificent world to them. Everything was true, good, and beautiful. Finally, peace and rest came, and they wrote down what they saw and heard. This is the first creation story in Genesis chapter 1. The authors were a group of priests who were the only group the Israelites could rely on. Around the same time, a prophet named Isaiah also heard the voice of God. Behold, I will create new heavens and a new earth. The former things will not be remembered, nor will they come to mind. But be glad and rejoice forever in what I will create. I believe that the words in Genesis chapter 1 verse 2, the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters, are a description of the former things. And the accounts of the 6 days of creation and the 7th day of rest describe the coming of new heavens and a new earth. There is no need to record in detail the former things that do not come to mind. But regarding the kingdom ruled by God, the author must record everything about the world, humans, and God. There are order instead of chaos, fullness of life instead of emptiness, the light instead of darkness. The former things have been overcome. The authors were not idle meditators, but people who cried out to God to save Israel from the power of darkness, shedding bloody tears. They had no reason or time to ask God to tell them the full story of creation. There is no reason for God to respond to something he was not asked about. Even if he revealed himself as the Almighty who created the world in just 6 days, he would have been known very well that it would not be of any comfort to them. Therefore, this account was not a scientific account of creation, but the gospel of God to Israel in despair. There is not even a trace of sin, pain, or evil here. There is no empire harassing Israel. As Paul said regarding the end times, God is all in all. The author saw the eschatological kingdom of God. The priests who came to their senses collected old traditions and might have been lost during their captivity, compiled them into a book, and placed this gospel at the head of it. This is because creation is the very beginning of history, And it is clear that the author believed that the eschatological kingdom of God existed from the beginning. Since evil originated from the finite humans, it cannot have existed from the beginning of creation and cannot last forever. Perhaps the author would have been placed this gospel at the very beginning of his holy book without any hesitation. Judging by the author and the historical background, this contains Israel's long historical experience of liberation from bondage. In other words, they also understood creation based on the experience of salvation and reconstructed primeval history from the perspective of redemptive history. Even if the author is Moses, the conclusion is the same. His greatest interest was the promised land he would enter in the future, not the creation of a distant past.